title race continues to bubble, of course, at the top of the table, with Liverpool still leading the charge, with City and Arsenal all within striking distance. But who was actually the real leaders? We're going to take a little look at next. That's right, folks. Back in another prediction video today. We'll take a look at a match number 24 in the Premier League, and we'll get to that in a second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe, and your one-stop shop for the Premier League is here, boys, at Blackburn Overseas, as well as Rovers content, world football content, all under one roofski. Of course, Liverpool currently top the charts, 2 points clear over City, who do have a game in hand. Of course, with Arsenal, not too far away either, in a very, very spicy title race, which we want to see. We want to see a three-horse race, at least, this season. But, of course, who we're going to take advantage in another busier week in the Premier League. We'll get into it, all of it in a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. And again, if you're new, subscribe. A whopping 75% of you are not subscribed. And do us all a favour and smash the old likey. Of course, let's take a little look at the previous week's action. Of course, anything in the middle of the week, the FA Cup and all that, not considered here. But big result for Everton, 2-2 draw against Tottenham. I went with a 2-0 win myself. Brighton with a 4-1 win over Crystal Palace. I went with a 2-1 win. Burnley did manage to get to a 2-2 draw against Fulham. I went with a win for Burnley, so I'm happy with that. I'll take it. Meanwhile, the game of the day was at St James's Park. 4-4 draw. I went with a 3-1 win for the Geordies. Well done to them. Meanwhile, Villa with a 5-0 win over Sheffield United, 2-0 win in my eyes. Bournemouth did draw with Forest 1-1. Chelsea got spanked by Wolves 4-2 at Stamford Bridge. Manchester United 3-0 winners over West Ham. I went with a 2-0 win. Arsenal 3-1 winners over Liverpool. I went with a 2-2 draw. And City with a 3-1 win over Brentford. Of course, those were my pickaroos, of course. What about the state of play in the table? Well, the table looks like this, guys. It is Liverpool, top of the charts, 2 points clear over City. Then Arsenal level on points with City, but goal difference puts them into third. Villa, not out of it completely, but got a lot of work to do if they are really title challengers. Of course, their main focus surely should be on Champions League and their race with Spurs and possibly Manchester United for that fourth Champions League spot. Going down, though, is Sheffield United, is Burnley at the moment. We love to see it. Luton Town making it a little bit spicy for the likes of Forest, Brentford, Crystal Palace, and the like. In fact, scrap all that. Everton are way down there. I know this table is a little bit false. It is false because Everton's real form is 12th, but that 10-point deduction puts them all the way down into 18th right now. So it is Sheffield United, it is Burnley, then Everton. So Luton Town are out right now. They have a 1-point advantage. They've got game in hand as well. So well done for Luton for fighting for their dear lives. Of course, that's of course me, and that's of course the league. What about you? And of course the Super Brew. Well, that's of course coming at you right here, right now. Let's see who of course flexed their muscles in the right way in the Super Brew. So here we go then. Of course, kicking all off with a refresh. Let's get into it. Of course. So it is Master Fighter with 12 points. Level with the Gaffer also with 12 points. Well done to you guys. James FC also kicking ass with 10.5, Raymond Reddington as well, and then the Che saying a pack. If you see your name in there, make sure you hit that like button. Of course, do us all a favour and get the likes up there. Of course, a big boost for that will, of course, be a big boost for the channel, none the same. So those are, of course, the scores. If you do see your name in there, please smash. There's me. I didn't do it. I've quit. I know I'm too good for you guys, and I will challenge you next year, and maybe we'll make it a bit spicy next year. Anyway, currently Lewis R runs away with it with 230.7 points clear over Alex Weller. The top two are remain the same. Taya B, though, moving up to number 3 spot. Vinny Hong also moving with Lemrich and dropping down a couple of spots with Darian and Daddy Cool making up the power 7, of course. Again, if you see your name in there, smash the old likey. Big mover Master Fighter up 7 spots. Of course, any other big movers? The Gaffer up 5 as well as he climbs up the table this past couple of weeks. Anyway, those are the state of play in the Prediction League. Of course, let's get into the next round of games then, shall we, as we look forward to a spicy week. Of course, kick it all off on, when is this? Early game, I believe, on Saturday. It's City. That's right. Free score on City up against the Everton side who need a result and fast. Played to the 54 times since the year 2000, since 1993. 26 wins for City, 18 wins from Everton, 10 draws, of course. The biggest win for Man City was a 5-0 win. They got 85 goals in 54 matches, 1.57 goals a game. Everton, though, 4-0 win. The biggest score in 56 goals in 54 matches, 1.04 goals a game. They're on 50% form. Everton, winless in 3, 18 for the table, 19 points on board. Just 1 win in 6, in fact. City, though, 100% form for them right now. 6 wins on the bounce at the very least. Second on the table, 49 points on the board. Last round, though, over at the Etihad. It was a 1-1 draw back in December 2022 between these two sides. Would you add a 1-1 draw between these two sides? Crazy stuff. I think they were scrapping for their lives last season. Now they're scrapping for their lives once again. The odds for this one, though, we do have City 11-2 on for the victory. Red hot favourite 7-1 is of course, your draw. 12-1 is your long shots is Everton. We're going to back, of course, City here. 3-0 win. It might be more than that, but Sean Dyche trying to get these guys hanging on for the dear lives. Meanwhile, Fulham against Bournemouth coming at you over at Craven Cottage. Played to the 10 times 2010. We've got 1 win for Fulham. We've got 5 wins for Bournemouth. 4 draws, of course, the biggest win for Fulham. 1-0 win. Scored 8 goals in 10 matches, 0.80 goals game. Bournemouth, 5-1 win, the biggest, scoring 20 goals in 10 matches, 2 goals game on average. They're on, of course, 50% form are at the moment, just 1 defeat in the last 5, 12th at the table, 27 points on the board against the Fulham side, 25% form for them right now. Winless in 6 now, 13th for the table, 26 points on the board as well. Last time around, though, over at Craven Cottage, it was a 2-2 draw back in October 2022, and Bournemouth have the beating of Fulham over the last 5, 2 wins and 3 draws. Of course, the odds for this one, 11-8 is your Fulham, 9-5 is your Bournemouth, 5-2 is your draw. Going to go with a 2-1 win for Fulham, ending that hoodoo of games, and of course getting their season back on track. Meanwhile, Liverpool against Burnley coming at you at Anfield, a must-win game for Liverpool, must-win game for Burnley. Of course, played to the 18 times 2005, got 13 wins for Liverpool, 3 for Burnley, 2 draws, of course, the biggest win for the hosts, 4-0 win, scoring 35 goals in 18 matches, 1.94 goals a game. Burnley, though, 2-0 win, the biggest, scoring 11 goals in 8 matches, 0.61 goals a game, of course, winless in at least 6 games, 70% form for them. They're 19th, 13th for the table, of course, up again, 13 points on the board, 19th for the table. Liverpool, top of the table with 51.75% form for them, of course, their one and only defeat last time around against City. Of course, last time around over at Anfield, it was a 2-0 win for Liverpool, who have played, won the last 4, conceded 0 against Burnley. Of course, 6-1 on is your Liverpool, 7-1 is your draw, 14-1 is your long shots. That's, of course, the 6-fingered freaks. 4-0 win for me for Liverpool on this one. Let's, of course, see if that happens. Luton Town against Sheffield United coming at you over at Kenilworth Road. Bit of a zing-zong affair here. Played 11 times in 1994. We got 4 wins apiece, 3 draws. Of course, the biggest win for Luton, 3-1 win, scoring 13 goals in 11 matches, 1.18 goals a game. Sheffield United, though, 4-0 win, the biggest, scoring 18 goals in 11 matches, 1.64 goals a game. Of course, Sheffield United, 25% form for them, around just 1 win in 6, 20th in the table at 10 points on the board. Up against the Luton Town side, 17th, 20 points on the board, 75% form for them right now, unbeaten in the last 6 matches. Last time round, though, over at Kenilworth Road, it was a 1-1 draw back in August 2022. Luton are unbeaten against Sheffield United over the last 3, 2 wins and 1 draw. The odds for this one, 11-8 on is your Luton, of course, 14-5 is your draw, 50-4 is your Blades. 2-1 win for Luton, of course, big win that would be to open up a bit of gap maybe between themselves and the drop. Meanwhile, Spurs against Brighton coming at you over at the Fancy Pants Stadium. Played each other 17 times, 2005, 12 wins for Spurs, 4 for Brighton, 1 draw. Of course, the biggest win for Tottenham, 2-0 win, scoring 27 goals in 17 matches, 1.59 goals game. Brighton, 3-0 win, the biggest, scoring 18 goals in 17 matches, 1.06 goals game. Almost 67% form are Brighton, just 1 defeat in the last 6, 8th in the table, 35 points on the board. Against the Tottenham side, just 1 defeat in the last 6, 67% form for them as well, 5th in the table, 44 points on the board as well. Last time round, over at Spurs, of course, it was a 2-1 win for Tottenham back in April 2023. The odds, though, for this one, 6-5 odd is just Tottenham, 16-5 the draw, 14-5 is your Brighton. Going to go with a 3-1 win for Spurs on this one, maintaining their top 4 status. Meanwhile, Wolves against Brentford coming at you over at Molineux. Played each other 17 times, 2013, 9 for Wolves, 4 for Brentford. 4 draws, of course, the biggest win for Wolves, 4-1 win, scoring 26 goals in 17 matches, 1.53 goals a game. Brentford, 4-0 win, the biggest, scoring 20 goals in 17 matches, 1.18 goals a game. Brentford, 25% form for them right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6, 15th for the table, 22 points on the board. Against the Wolves side, 67% form for them right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6, 10th in the table, 32 points on the board as well. Last time round, though, over at Molineux was in the league, it was a 2-0 win for Wolves back in April 2023. They did play each other 3 times already this season, and Wolves unbeaten, of course. In fact, they're unbeaten in the last 6, but they have played each other 3 times this season. 4-1 win for Wolves over Brentford. That was, of course, in the league on December. Then they played each other in the FA Cup in Brentford. 1-1 draw it was there. Brought it back to Molineux. 3-2 win over in penalties or extra time, whatever. Big win for Wolves as well. So 6 unbeaten, 4 wins, 2 draws, of course. But the odds for this one, we have Wolves 11-10 for the victory, 13-5 is the draw, 12-5 is your away win. Going to go with a 2-0 win for Wolves here. Brentford, they're not safe as houses just yet, guys. They're not safe as houses. Another team not safe as houses is Forest up against Newcastle coming at the City Ground. Played each other 18 times in 1994, 5 wins for Forest, 10 wins for Newcastle, 3 draws. Of course, the biggest win for Forest. 3-1 win, scoring 21 goals in 18 matches, 1.17 goals a game. The Geordies, a 5-0 win, the biggest, scoring 33% form, 33 goals over the last 18, 1.83 goals a game. They're on 58% form, are Newcastle, just 1 defeat in the last 5, 9th in the table. 33 points on the board against the Forest side. 42% form for them, and a winning list in 4, 1 win in 6. 16 for the table with 21 points on the board as well. Last round, over in City Ground, it was a 2-1 win for Newcastle. However, Forest did pick up a win over Newcastle on Boxing Day this campaign. The odds for this one, 5-2 is your Forest, even Stevens is your Newcastle, 11-4 is the draw. I'm going to give them the double here. Nottingham Forest 2-1 winners. They're scrapping for their lives, of course. They could be in that relegation spot. Well, I think they won't be because of Everton. They're taking on City, but they're not out of it. They need wins, and they need wins, especially at home. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Forest on this one. Into the London derby we go. It's West Ham against Arsenal. Of course, at the London Stadium, played each other 58 times in 1983. 10 wins for West Ham, 37 wins for Arsenal, and 11 draws, of course. Biggest win for the hosts, 2-0 wins, scoring 48 goals in 58 matches, 0.83 goals a game. The Gunners, 5-1 win, the biggest, 107 goals scored in those 58 matches, 1.84 goals a game. Arsenal, 3 wins on the bounce now, 50% form for them. Third in the table, 49 points on the board against the West Ham side. Winless in 6, 33% form for them. They are 7th, 36 points on the board as well. Last time around, over at the London Stadium in the league, it was a 2-2 draw, of course. They also played each other this season in the EFL Cup. 3-1 win it was for West Ham. They also played each other at the Emirates. It was a 2-0 win for West Ham as well. So West Ham unbeaten against Arsenal in the last 3. Couple of wins and a draw there. So good form for them into this one, though. The odds here, 5-1 is your West Ham, 50-8 on is your Arsenal, who must win, really. They must keep up with the Joneses, and the Joneses are the Scousers. Keep up with the Scousers. And 10-3 is the draw here. We're going to go with the win for Arsenal, 2-1 win against recent form. Meanwhile, the game of the day is Villa against Man United over at Villa Park. Played each other 63 times since 1993. 5 wins for Villa, 45 wins for United, 13 draws, of course. Villa, 3-1 win, the biggest, scoring 45 goals in 63 matches, with 7-1 goals game. United, 4-0 win, the biggest, 118 goals scored in 63 matches, 1.87 goals a game. They're on 75% form, are United, 6th in the table, 38 points on the board. Against the Villa side, 67% form for them right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They are 4th, there's 46 points on the board. Last time around, though, over at Villa Park, it was a 3-1 win for Villa back in November 2022. They already played each other this season at Old Trafford. 3-2 win it was for Manchester United. The odds for this one, though, 11-10 is your Villa, 23-10 is your United, 11-4 is the draw. Back in Villa here, 3-1 win. They've not been as good as they were this season, but they need to get back to these kind of results. So I'm going to go with Villa to oust United on this one. And then wrapping up, we have a bit of a zing-zong affair over at Selhurst Park. Some people say Roy's last game, perhaps, against the Chelsea side, who, of course, could be the last game for Pochettino. Played 29 times in 1994, 4 wins for Palace, 24 wins for Chelsea, 1 draw, of course. The biggest win for Palace, 2-1 win, scored 19 goals in 29 matches, 0.66 goals a game. Chelsea, 4-0 win, the biggest, scored 59 goals in 29 matches, 2.03 goals a game. On 42% form are Chelsea right now, winless in 3, 11th in the table, 31 points on the board. Against the Palace side, 14th for the table, 24 points on the board, 42% form for them as well, just 1 win in 5. Last time around, though, over at Selhurst Park, it was a 2-1 win for Chelsea back in October 2022. Chelsea have actually won 6 in the bounce against Crystal Palace, so this will be a nailed-on win, surely. The odds, though, 14-5 is your Palace, 11-4 is the draw, 11-10 on is your Chelsea. I'm back in Palace here. They're up against it. Fans want Hodgson out. The injuries are against them, but Chelsea need it more, and of course will crumble under the pressure, I think, on this one. So 2-1 win for me on this one. Let me know your thoughts about this as we look forward to those matches. And again, if I'm right, this is what the table will look like at the end of it. Liverpool will be top, City will be a second, Arsenal will remain with them, Villa, of course, keeping up the heat as well. Going down, Sheffield United, Burnley, and Brentford, of course, or not really. It'll be Everton still back down there with 19 points. Brentford, though, need to get their act together and fast. That's, of course, my take. Be sure to subscribe. And again, smash your likey, but we'll see you sooner, guys, for the next one, whenever that is. But until then, we're done.